Hello, founders. I'm going to do something really new and interesting today. Well, it's not new and interesting to me because I've done it a lot, but for everybody else, I'm going to fix this pitch deck. I'm calling this series Fix This Pitch Deck with Me, like get ready with me type thing, except makeup and morning ritual. I'm going to fix this pitch deck and I'm going to walk you through exactly how I think about pitch decks and how I'm going to play around with this and try and adjust it so that I can help this founder raise 500K. That's what we're looking for. We're looking to raise 500K. This is a marketing tech platform. In other words, we are talking about helping small businesses do marketing, and we are basically in a pre-seed, we're in this weird pre-seed to seed land where the company is already making money, but now we need to juice it up a little bit, pour gasoline on the fire. We think this company is ready to attract investors, but the story is not there. This deck is not working the way that we want it to. So I want to make sure that I help this company get the message out there and raise that 500K. Before we continue, my name is Ed Kang, 7-time funded founder with 2 exits. That's just a fancy way of saying I failed a bunch of times to your benefit, because I like to use YouTube channels like this because I've learned more from my mistakes than my successes, and I want to help you avoid some of the catastrophic mistakes that I've made. Not to say you won't make mistakes, but I'm going to try and make your life a little bit easier, because I'm also the Chief Strategy Officer at startups.com. I've advised hundreds and hundreds of founders directly, and I've seen thousands of startups go through our program, and pretty much 80% of them are raising money pre-seed to seed. I get the luxury of working with founders and helping them raise capital while at the same time watching how investors respond to our founders when we're helping them. And I want you to watch this video and see if you have a SaaS platform, you're doing marketing tech or some type of B2B software. I want you to watch this and take a look and see if you can fix your own deck, because I'm going to take you through the exact steps that I go through myself. If you're part of the startups.com community, make sure you understand, you know, that you can send me your pitch decks and I will help you. If you're out there and you want your own pitch deck review, I do a lot of them. All you have to do is contact me, leave a comment, or you can just contact me at advisor@startups.com. Email me and we'll make sure that we can do a pitch deck review. You don't have to be part of the startups.com community to receive one of those. We want to help as many people as we can. And while you're here, do the YouTube thing, like, comment, subscribe, share on socials. It really helps me out. And I'd love to see your feedback. Let's jump into this pitch deck. So first, what I'm going to do is I'm going to scan the pitch deck and I'm going to point out all the areas in which I'm going to be working on. And I do this to mentally mark what I need to be thinking about and where this pitch deck could use immediate help. The first thing on this cover slide is that we are going to work on this because it says birthday, get exclusive meals, deals, and gifts from local restaurants. Now, if you are talking to an investor, I do not care about birthdays, getting meals, deals. The investor's not sitting there thinking, well, okay, I need an exclusive deal and gift from a local restaurant as a birthday gift. Why? Because most likely that investor doesn't care about that type of stuff. On top of which, here's the issue, is that sometimes you end up talking to the customer and you think the investor can relate, and the investor doesn't relate. The investor might be thinking, well, if you're only going to be helping me with my one birthday, then how many other people, you're not answering questions, and it's only an audience of one. The investor wants to know that you are addressing a big problem in a way that investors understand and they salivate over because it's a good financial opportunity. If you're talking to the customer, you're not talking to the investor, and those two are two completely different ways of language. Marketing hype, buzz for the customer doesn't work for the investor. So we're not going to talk to the investor. We're going to say something very straightforward here, and we'll wordsmith this out. Something like local marketing for birthday consumers, something like that, right? Connecting consumers with local restaurants to market to them on their birthday. I don't know. We're going to get into it. I need to see the rest of the deck first, but that's what we're going to do on the cover page right away. The picture is fine. Next, celebrating birthdays made easy while businesses attract more customers. This is, again, marketing hype. You're talking to the business and saying you can attract customers. That's not what we want to get into. We want to get right away into the problem. The problem is so important because the investor is going to be thinking, is this a worthy problem that I want to solve? Furthermore, we're just going to say problem on this slide. We're going to say, here's the problem. Now, I like the fact that 179 million, we've got data in here. Let's read this. 179 million consumers struggle to find meaningful ways to celebrate birthdays, gift experiences, while local businesses lack a cost-effective and target marketing solution to attract birthday celebrants. We're talking about a two-sided problem here, but that's going to be difficult. You need to pick one side. I've got two people that I'm thinking about, or I've got two types of users. I've got the customer, which we talked about is going to be a challenge, and then I've got the business. First, I've got the customer who is having the birthday, which is the consumer. So this might be a B2C play. And then I've got a B2B play, which is the business that wants to market to the customer. Now you need to think to yourself, what business am I in? Who am I actually trying to attract? Who's my user? And understand, if you got a two-sided marketplace, you got customers signing up for their birthdays and businesses that want to market to them. Yes, you've got two sides, but you need to pick one. We need to talk about who is the main user, who's going to drive this thing. Investors want to know, and I'm going to say it's the business right now, but we positioned it as the customer, and that probably is not going to work, but I'm going to reserve judgment, and I'm going to decide a little bit later on as we go through this deck. Next slide, the solution. So we're helping customers celebrate with exclusive birthday gifts from local businesses and offering businesses a powerful marketing platform. Again, you're walking down a tall fence on both sides. Which one is it? Is it the consumer or is it the business? Two completely different things, because those are different business models. The business models and how you monetize and make money are so different, and your go-to-market strategy is going to be different. Go-to-market strategy, all different. Therefore, you want to make sure that you're really pushing one and you're saying the other is part of the business model. However, we're going to focus here. I will explain that more as we go. All right, market. I like this. First, what you want to think about is all pitch decks, generally speaking, all pitch decks should go problem, solution, market size. Those are the three very important pitch deck slides that investor wants to see. So we're getting in the market right away. We're initially focused on 17 million consumers and 25,000 restaurants to begin capturing this untapped potential. We started off, this is really the SAM. I want to know what the TAM is. How many people in the world, or how many people in the USA go to birthdays and celebrate birthdays? Okay, it's pretty much everybody. Or how many people could actually celebrate a birthday, want to go to a restaurant? That's what I'm going to be thinking of. So I'm marking this as we need to focus a little bit more on the TAM. Then we got a monster consumer database awaits. Our new mobile app aggregates content for consumers to organize, reorganize life special occasions under a freemium model. All right, so now I'm getting the business freemium model. But now I got special occasions. Are we talking birthdays? Why not just say birthdays? This is a birthday club after all. Each active user helps diversify and accelerate revenue beyond restaurant billings. Now, you're talking to the restaurant here, all right? We have a monster consumer and database that awaits you. That's not language that investors are going to understand or really be drawn to. We need to say we have developed a monster database. We have developed a database of 1 million patrons, people who have their birthdays. We can track them. But we are muddying this whole thing up. This slide is very questionable. I don't see the purpose on this slide other than it's kind of like hype. It's marketing hype. We're probably going to eliminate this slide, but we'll wait and see. Like I said, I'm just working through this pitch deck and I'm making mental notes of what I want to be focusing on. How it works. This is super important. This is going to really answer a lot of questions. I have the how it works slide. We're going to make this a little smaller, put it in the corner, and we're going to make all this language, this visual language, a little better because this is really small text. We have 100,000 birthday diners who have received a gift from the birthday club. All right. So I'm going to question mark that because this is the biggest text on there. Why would you tell me that first when I really want to know how it works? So we're going to make some adjustments. So first, we're going to say restaurants join the birthday club and pay a subscription fee, pay for performance metrics, all that stuff. Okay. So I'm going to eliminate some of this stuff. And I got restaurants. Restaurants right away. If this is step number one, then this is a B2B play. I need to focus on restaurants. Restaurants need a way to market to consumers when they have birthdays. Next, I've got consumers download our mobile app and receive a birthday card or social media message to redeem free birthday meal from the advertiser. So we need the businesses first, and then we need the consumers download the app. And then it says our advertisers acquire new customers, build a digital list, and increase repeat business year by year around marketing platform. Okay, so it looks like it's some type of SaaS platform, or you basically give the software to the business. I don't know. It's not clear, and that's a problem, but this is what I'm gleaming from this. Basically, what I'm seeing is we need to focus on the problem is for the business, and how we're going to solve it is we're going to bring consumers to them. This is how you build a two-sided marketplace. One has the problem. We figure out the solution to solve that problem. They need customers because they're the ones going to pay for it. And the freemium, if it's a freemium model, you're going to need millions of consumers anyway. The B2B, business model, the businesses are the ones that are going to be paying you money. That's the reason we want to focus there. I'm getting a better picture of what is going on here. Full disclosure, I have talked to this founder and asked questions. I'm walking you through my logic in how I process a business model and a deck. Next, we're looking at the competition. The birthday club gets more butts in seats and keeps tables full. All right, more marketing hype language. Who cares? Investor doesn't care about that. So we're going to not be clever. You do not want to be clever, everyone. All right, you want to be clear. Let's pause here just for a second. I know that founders get tempted and say, I want to put in language to sound clever. And you do not want to do that. Cease and desist, stop right away, do not pass go. You'd rather be clear over clever, because what happens is your brand of humor or your choice of language may throw off an investor. They may not find it funny. You do not want that to happen. And I know a lot of funny founders, and it's hilarious. I had one founder, Doug. I love the guy. We use his software to edit this video. Check out the description for an affiliate link if you want to edit videos like me using machine learning and all that stuff. But he says, if I hit a certain amount of users, I'm going to get my first tattoo. And he says that during his pitch. And it didn't go over for me. I chuckled because it's Doug and I know him, but I don't want him to take that risk, right? And so therefore, didn't give him any reaction to that whatsoever. Wanted to make sure that he took that out. Same with your humor, being clever. Don't put it in text. It's even worse in text because people might misinterpret it. So prioritize being clear over clever. Next is I'm looking at all this information and I've got too much going on. Like I'm not going to read all this stuff. So we need to make sure that we have check marks and X's in different things. And here are your competitors. And I'm going to actually look up the competitors. And that's what I do. This is my service to the founders that hire me to help them. I actually look up your competitors and I make sure that we're comparing apples to apples. On top of which, we're going to make sure that this matrix down here is what our customers want. This is a B2B benefit matrix. And so we need to have B2B benefits here, not things that you think are cool, but your user, your target market think are cool. So you can tell the investor, we understand our user. Next, we're going to get into traction. The birthday clubs provided our advertisers with more than 100,000 celebrating guests. Okay, great. Fantastic. I'd like to see more of a unique number here, 100,000, or even a growth graph, which would be really great. We've got milestones, built the birthday club, all this stuff. Do I really need this survey? Do I really need this? I don't think so. We got 28,000 diners celebrated with our advertisers. And so does that actually match up? I'm getting cognitive dissonance because these two numbers don't match. Performance food service added, gaining traction, multi-location, launching in Florida market. These are all mixed messages. I don't know what's coming or going. You know what I really want to know? I want to know how many guests. So I want to know how many restaurants are on this, right? So we got the B2B market. So how many restaurants are on this? And I want an exact number. And then I want to know how many guests are on this. And that's going to be my traction slide. And I'd love to see month over month growth or week over week growth, but let's see if we can get this from the founder. And this is where, let's pause here just for another moment. The more detailed you are with your metrics, if you're tracking week over week growth and you show those metrics to the investor, then you're going to have an easier time getting the investor to believe that you actually know your stuff. Let me give you a really great example of this. I have a project that I'm tracking. It is something called a lit RPG. It's in the lit RPG space, which literally stands for literary RPG. And I'm tracking the metrics week over week. And I want to make sure that I can communicate with investors. And here we go. Take a look at this. I have launched this for 4 weeks, and I'm looking at two key metrics, followers and views. And I'm going week over week traffic. And you can see here that I had a nice big bump on the first to second week, 73%. And then now I'm moving down to 28%. I'm tracking myself. I need to tell a story because literally I want to make sure that I'm growing 10% week over week all the way down. That I can tell the investor that as I've gotten to this, I've got a story where I figured out my customer acquisition, different guerrilla marketing tactics, we went viral, and this should stay at 10% week over week because then I'm going to get one of these hockey stick growth graphs, and that's what investors look for. But I'm going to show the investor these numbers, and that's what investors want to see. These monolithic numbers are not going to help because investors go, well, you can fudge that. What'd you get? All those numbers for over the course of 10 years? Well, then what's the growth going on there? Let me show you another thing that is going to help you understand how to communicate with investors here. I show investors my metrics dashboard. I show them this. This is my YouTube channel. I'm attracting investors to invest in all you startups up there if you haven't checked out my videos. And I say, look, over the course of the last 28 days, okay, I have grown this amount, or 365 days. Look at my growth. I had some spikes, and I share these stories. I had a spike. Here's what I learned from this spike. And look how it's kind of ticking up as I go. Maybe we can do this a little better than the last 90 days. See how it's ticking up? We got more views. I'm looking at more watch time. I'm looking at subscribers slowly growing, had a nice spike. Estimated revenue, see how this is ticking up? And now we can make some extrapolations. I can share that I was sick during these few months over here. That's the reason it wasn't happening. Then I started new content. I share all that data with my investors because I am transparent and investors love to see that and they trust me. So as soon as I start showing that information, investors jump into the conversation. What did you learn? What are you learning here? What do you think you're going to be able to do later on if I give you $500,000 to execute your go-to-market strategy, your customer acquisition strategy, etc.? So let's get back to this one. We're going to make sure that we put the right traction in this. Next, we got this team. Love this founder. I've been working with him almost a year, I would say. So we've got team bullet points. Okay, that's great. Now I'm just going to take a look. The headline is super important. I'm going to read this headline. We have proven experience in building startups and loyalty in the marketing industry. I want details. If you're going to say this, how many startups have you built? Right? How much value have you created in the marketing industry? I want to see logos of where you've worked for. We've got merchant services, the birthday club, which is the company. We've got all these different things. I'm looking, all right? Experienced restaurant, digital marketing, restaurant owner, podcast, host, speaker, exactly how many? 2,900 restaurant owners, operators receive newsletter podcast. That's actually good so far. That should go into the go-to-market strategy. So I'm scanning and I'm trying to look for these little nuggets here and there, the gold that I can mine out that will really attract an investor's attention. Now I'm looking here. This is an advisor. So I'm really going to focus on a go-to-market strategy and figure out what's going on there. But that's going to be helpful. That's the team. Stronger team slide. Here we go. This is the financials. This company's already been making money, so I'm going to figure out how to do past financials up to this point in time, see if that's a strong enough argument. And then we're going to have funding. We built a platform of V1. I don't need to see this, right? I don't need to see this. I've already got this in your traction, V1 of the consumer app. So I'm going to take this out. We're seeking $1 million. We're going to probably say $500K to start off, launch in the Florida market. So I like the fact that we got milestones in how we're going to launch. And then we've got the use of funds right here. Is this a good use of funds? I'm not really going to get into it because I don't know the full metrics of everything. This, who cares type thing. And so we're going to make sure that we really focus on where the investor needs to pay attention. So there's your funding slide. And we've got the pitch deck. So you've seen all my notes in what I've done so far. Now I'm going to go back and I'm going to start playing around with it. You've already got my critique and review and see where I'm going to change it. Now I'm going to show you how I change it by literally updating you as I go. So you're going to see me on my screen. I'm going to go to my workbench here, my PowerPoint, and I am going to make sure that I start updating it and you can see this in real time. There we go. So immediately going to take this out and I'm going to say, that's not a birthday. Who cares? I'm going to say, get exclusive meals and deals from restaurants. And I'm going to say something like a marketing platform for local restaurants to reach customers on their birthday. You see how this is just really straightforward. And now there's no question about what this is. It'd rather be clear than clever. Now I might do something a little bit better in terms of, I'll ask ChatGPT, is there a way that I can do a little bit more in terms of making this a little more exciting? So I'm going to go to ChatGPT. I'm not going to show you how I do this. If you have ChatGPT, use it. And I'm going to say, make this a little more interesting for investors. No marketing hype, just jazz up a bit as a description for this startup. So I've mentioned investors and I'm going to put it in here. So bang, it says, here we go, data-driven platform. All right. So here are the two options, right? I'm just going to put option 1 and option 2. I'm not worrying about the design yet, but it's showing you very clearly option 1, marketing platform for local restaurants to reach customers on their birthdays. Option 2, a data-driven platform designed to help restaurants engage customers by offering personalized birthday experiences. All right. Hey, let's check that out, right? That's a start. You see how easy that was? Just to make it super clear for the investor. Now I'm going to go to this next slide here. Celebrating birthdays made easy while attracting more customers. All right. So now I'm going to say this is not what we want to focus on. I don't want to focus on the marketing hype with my customer. I'm going to start off with the customer that I really want to market to, and I'm going to look for restaurants. So I'm going to go to ChatGPT and I'm just going to get general idea. What is an estimate of the number of restaurants in the USA, right? So I'm going to just find out. ChatGPT is going to be your friend. We need to make sure we verify this data. The National Restaurant Association estimated that there were 1 million restaurants in the United States. All right, so that's a big 10. So this also includes food establishments, fine dining, food trucks, and bars. Total can fluctuate year over year. So there's 1 million restaurants. So that's good enough. I like that number. I'm going to say 1 million restaurants. Going to go back to this and I'm going to just start hacking away. And let's just duplicate this slide so that we make sure that I don't lose it. And I'm going to put 1 million. Okay, 1 million restaurants, 1 million restaurants struggle, this is the pain point, struggle to market, to reach customers, or 1 million restaurants miss out on the opportunity to market to customers on their birthday. Something like that. Okay, so that's what we're looking at. Now, let's look at some more data here. I'm going to say, check this out. We had birthdays are the number one celebrated event at restaurants. 40% higher average check, $87 or more, and they got increased party size from 3 to 10. So 40% higher average checks of $87 or more. So is this $87? I'm wondering to myself, do I have a TAM of $87 million? That's the pain point. Let's see here for a second, and let's talk about ChatGPT. So I'm going back to ChatGPT. How many people will celebrate a birthday this year in the US and can go to a restaurant? So they are adults or can celebrate those adults. I don't know, something like that. So we're looking at US population. It says here 334 million and annual birthdays. So everyone celebrates. Roughly adult population is 77%, so it's 257 million adults. And then celebrating children, so that's added another 77 million children participate. Now I'm just going to stay with 257 million. 334 million will celebrate a birthday this year. 257, so 334 million, etc. I'm going to leave the kids out because they may not do that check size. So I've got 77 million children and 300 and what was my number here? 334 million. So I'm going to take out my trusty calculator. Now remember, it said that we've got a problem of magnitude and we want to measure how much that problem could potentially cost. If we go back here, that's $87 or more. I'm just going to check this super quick and I'm going to type in, so I put 257 million in my calculator. This is called extrapolation, everybody. 257 million times, what is it? $87 equals $22 billion. That's great. $22.359 billion. So what do? I'm going to go back to here. Let's go back and try this out. Okay, 1 million restaurants miss out on potentially $22.4 billion spent on birthday celebrations because their marketing tools cannot reach customers celebrating birthdays. All right, so I'm going to do this right here. So let's check this problem statement. 1 million restaurants miss out on potentially $24 billion spent on birthday celebration because their marketing tools cannot reach those customers celebrating their birthdays. And I may say, okay, celebrating birthdays, 22 spent on birthday celebrations every year. So I'm going to make sure it's annual. All right. So now everyone watch what I'm going to do, or watch me do this here. I'm going to go to ChatGPT and I'm going to say, make this problem statement for a startup and more attention for the startup investor. Keep it one sentence. What other suggestions do you have? Right. So now I'm going to put that in there and it is going to pop out some verdict here. Here we go. Okay, so here's my ChatGPT window. Okay, so I said, make this problem. You see what I did here? Make this problem statement for a startup better and more attention getting for startup investor. You see, I'm using ChatGPT models here, and here's a refined version. Each year, 1 million restaurants miss out on $22.4 billion potential revenue from birthday celebrations due to ineffective customer targeting tools. Okay, I like this, right? Add urgency, highlight customer engagement. Okay, how would you improve it based on your suggestions? And so it's going to tell me is improved. With 22.4 billion spent annual in birthday celebration, 1 million U.S. restaurants miss out on thousands of dollars each year by failing to leverage personalized marketing tools that effectively reach customers on their special day. Okay, I like it. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to give the founder the two options. Now notice I've got size, scope, and severity in this. So let's go back to my pitch deck, and I'm going to show what I've got here. Here we go. And I'm just going to pop in. I'm going to say, here's option 1 and here's option 2. Check it out. This is how I do it. Here's option 1. Say option 1. And I'm going to say option 2. And then I'm going to go to ChatGPT, and I'm going to cut and paste. All right, so we've got this. I don't know which one the founder is going to choose, but hey, these are two really good options, right? You see how quickly I went through everything, and now you can get an idea. All right, next, what I'm going to do is delete these extra slides here, and we are going to go to the solution. Here's the solution: helping customers celebrate with exclusive birthday gifts from local businesses, offering businesses a powerful marketing platform. All right, here's a little trick. You want to make sure that your solution reverse engineers the problem. In other words, the two are connected. For example, here's your masterclass for you. If my problem was 1 million people overspend $10 billion a year on this because the current solution or whatever they're doing is slow, manual, and expensive, then you need to say our solution helps those people save millions of dollars because our solution is fast, automated, and less expensive, and 10% the cost. You see how I went backwards and I solved the problem. You got the investor excited about the problem. Now you need to say, we've actually solved that problem. We have a problem that we can solve, and we've solved it with a unique value proposition that makes sense, that the investor's going to go, they might have thought they knew what the solution was. Oh, this is a good problem. I kind of know what the solution is, but I'm excited to see if you're going to give me a novel insight. We just want to be straightforward here. So we're not helping customers. We're helping businesses. So the solution, so I'm just going to say our platform helps businesses on their birthday. It's pretty straightforward, but I want to add a little jazz to it because we want to say missing out on the special days. Now, I don't necessarily have to do this, but I would just want to make sure that I would say our marketing platform, so now we're just super clear, helps businesses market to customers on their birthday using internal database to their current customers on their birthdays, and also reach new customers in the area, right? Doing the same thing. Now, it's janky, it's a draft, right? Doesn't have to be perfect. I'm sure you might be thinking, but Ed, don't you just pop these out, just straight out, and they sound magnificent like you're Edgar Allan Poe? No. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to go to the wonderful ChatGPT, because here's the thing. Let me just pause and explain about AI. AI cannot help you write a good pitch deck. AI can help you write a better pitch deck. AI is one of those really enthusiastic yet dumbest interns in the world that really wants to impress you and says, hey, take a look at what I did. If you do not prompt AI properly, it's not going to help you. And you see, I'm giving you a class on how I prompt AI. So you need to make sure that you're prompting AI using the principles that I'm teaching you, and you tell AI what you need, or AI is just going to pull data from all the really crappy pitch decks that are out there, right? So I'm going to make sure I'm sharing properly here. I hope I was sharing up to this point in time. But if not, you're just going to have to work with me. You'll see the results in just a moment. I'm going to say, here is my current solution statement. Please improve it to connect with the problem statement and create investor interest. So I'm going to say, there's it. And I really like my solution statement. It's just very straightforward. I'm going to just jazz it up just a little bit. And you see, hopefully I'm sharing the right screen. Am I sharing the right screen? I am. Okay, so here's what ChatGPT said. Our platform empowers restaurants to tap into the 22.4 billion birthday celebration market by enabling them to engage existing customers to attract new ones, personalized birthday offers, driving foot traffic and boosting loyalty. Ooh, that's a real good one. I think you nailed it right on the spot. I'm going to say any way that you think to improve this. By the way, I talk to ChatGPT like a regular person. I'll say please and thank you all the time. Here's an even more refined version. Our platform unlocks $22.4 billion birthday celebration market restaurants by enabling them to seamlessly engage existing customers, attract new ones, personalize. Okay, so we've added some fluffy words seamlessly. ChatGPT likes to add very flowery, colorful language. I'm going to get rid of that, and I'm just going to say this right here, okay? And we're going to get rid of empowers You'll see this in just a moment. It says our platform empowers restaurants to tap into the 22.4 billion birthday celebration market by enabling them to engage existing customers and attract new ones, personalized birthday offers. All right, so I'm going to say our platform allows restaurants to tap into the $24 billion, I'm going to just say capture the $22.4 billion birthday celebration market spent on birthday meals by enabling them to engage existing customers and attract new ones, driving foot traffic and boosting loyalty. All right, so we're basically saying here, let's go back to the problem. We're basically saying that if restaurants don't fix this issue, they're going to miss out on $22.4 billion. 1 million restaurants are going to miss out on $22.4 billion. And they're going to say, how'd you come up with that number? Well, we calculated how many, et cetera, how many people go to birthdays, and how much they could potentially be spending. And I will add that to our market list. And they say, our platform allows restaurants to capture the $22.4 billion spent on birthday meals by enabling them to engage existing customers, attract new ones, et cetera, et cetera. All right, problem, bang, solution attaches to it. Sounds way better. I'm going to duplicate this slide in case I need this data. And I'm going to say, here's our total addressable market, but I want to start with a big headline. So I'm going to say TAM, just so that the investor knows where they are. And I'm going to do the same on the problem slide, market. So I'm going to say market, and I'm going to make this small, same size as everything else, 257 million. So here we go. I'm going to say, all right, 257 million people in the US celebrate their birthdays every year. Just really straightforward. So that's my big market. And here's where we go. And then we've got 1 million restaurants. So I'm going to make sure this is my big top down. This is my big number. All right. So 257 million. Our total addressable market, our TAM, is how much? I don't know. So I'm going to say 1 million restaurants. This are all the restaurants that could use this stuff. And I'm going to say by how much. Now, here's the problem. I didn't see how many businesses or how much this startup is charging. So let's just make up a number. And I'm going to say $19.99 a year, right? So if that's the case and they could spend that, so what is 1 million times $19.99 a year? And we want to battle test these numbers. I'm sure this founder has already got the numbers and metrics all figured out, what they've been charging. So $19.99 a year, so 1 million restaurants times that equals $1.999 billion, right? So my TAM is 1.99. See how I did that, everyone? That is called a bottom-up analysis, right? I'm going to pick a note. Math is not correct because I don't know what you charge. Okay, so I'm going to just put that note in there. But that, I'm showing the math. So I'm going to make sure I just put a highlight in there. So 1 million restaurants, right? Now, that's the TAM. We want to know what the SAM is. And thankfully, the founder already told me that this is going on here. So I'm going to delete this. And I'm going to go look at the other slide. We're focused on Florida, 17 million, 25,000 restaurants. All right. So I'm going to put SAM, which is where you're going to focus. The SAM is what? If I've been told, so let's look at this, that there are 17 million customers and 25,000 restaurants. I just need 25,000 restaurants. So I'm going to say 25,000 restaurants because everyone knows Florida has got a big population. So I've got 25,000 restaurants times 1999 equals 49.97 million. Okay, so solid SAM. So I'm going to put SAM 49.97 million, and this is going to say targeting 25,000 restaurants in Florida. Bang. All right. So that's just straightforward. TAM, SAM, and then SOM. You could put it in. This is what we realistically can make, but I'm just going to say TAM and SAM is just straightforward. I could say something like, because investors might say, well, where's your SOM? So I could just say total, and then we're going to say our focus, right? Straightforward. So that shows me, all right, this is a big business. If every company used this startup, it would be 1.99 billion. They're not going to reach all 1 million restaurants. And so we're going to target 25,000 restaurants. And maybe we could go 10% of that. So if we have $49.97 million, so we could figure out, all right, let's say that we reached, I don't know, 10% of that would be $4.97 million. That's not big enough. So we need to get to $100 million. 25,000 restaurants. All right. So unicorn territory needs to be $100 million, right? So here's what I'm going to advise the founder. I'm going to make a note, maybe change the SAM, or the target focus, a little bit to get to 100 million, right? I don't know what that looks like, but maybe this company is charging more. I don't know how much you charge, but investors like to see 100 million, right? Million. So that could be a thing. I don't know. I'll talk to the founder about this, but 100 million is that unicorn territory, and this is 49.97 million. Let me just double check my math here. Yeah, $50 million. So we need to find a target of 50,000 restaurants for the SOM and say we can hit 50,000 restaurants. Let's do it this way. You could say here, we believe we could reach 50,000 restaurants out of the 1 million, which is a small percentage, which would be 100 million, right? But that's if this number is correct. I don't know if they're spending $19.99 a year. They could be spending more. Let's see. So I am going to now look at this and say, okay, birthday is the number one celebrating restaurants. Okay, and 40% higher average checks, increased party size from 3 to 10. I actually like this. I'm going to say we're going to put this in the problem statement, maybe solution statement, market. Where would I put this so that people understand? Actually, I like it. I like it in the market slide. So I'm going to go back here, everyone. Watch this. Here's my market slide, my new one, and I'm going to put this in, but I'm going to make it a smaller data dump on the side that if they want to read this, they can, right? See how that works? And I'm going to make this, I'm going to make sure that the founder knows to make this big and bold. That's my big number. And I'm going to drop everything else, right? Okay, you see that slide? Big number, top down. I use it to get their attention. And I said 257 million. Right? And that's going to translate to 1.99 billion total market or 49.97 million. I don't know if those numbers are correct. I'm just telling you right now, but you saw how I calculated TAM Samsung. All right, so I'm going to delete the old market slide. So I'm going to say monster database awaits. All right, what am I going to do with this slide? I don't know. I'm going to punt this slide for now. And I'm just going to say, hey, let's not worry about this. And I'm going to put this, sometimes what I'll do is I'll put extra information in the back to see, do I want to go and address this? Do I want to go after it or not? Or include it? I don't know. So now we need to go to the how it works. And this is where it's going to be a real ring-a-ding-dong dandy, because this slide is probably going to be the one that we need the most lift on and we need the most adjustment. Let me go back to the how it works slide. So how it works, it's totally messed up. So I'm going to show you how I do a how it works slide. And I like to make sure that I constrain what I look at and what I'm able to do. If I can do it in 4 steps, 5 steps, I'll try 5 steps. But here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do a completely new sheet, new slide completely. And let me take you to new slide so you see how I build it. I'm going to put at the top how it works. And that's in my 24-point font, just to keep it consistent. This is all in PowerPoint. Here we go. So how it works. And then I'm going to create 5 boxes and see if I can get everything in 5 boxes and maybe 4 boxes. I'm going to insert a text box, and I'm just going to put it right here, and I put it right in the middle, and I'm going to get right in here, step, and then I'm going to duplicate my text boxes to give me 5 of them. And I'm going to make sure that they are all spaced properly so that I can squeeze in all this information. Okay, so I got step 1, step 2, and then step 3, and then I'm going to duplicate. I'm going to get a step 4 in here, and step 5, okay? You see how I did this? I'm going to take all this and I'm going to center it in and make sure that we are right smack dab in the middle of the action. Here we go. If I can figure this out in 5 steps, I'll be golden, maybe 4. Now, there's going to be a big headline, but we're going to take information. So first, I want to explain out the journey of what happens and all the features. And maybe that's where I'm going to take all these features from. So I'm going to say restaurant signs up and inputs their current customer database. Right? That'll be good. Next, step 2, restaurant creates a special and sends it to customers on their birthday. Doing it nice and light here. I'm explaining. Now, step 3, customers sign up free to find specials, birthday specials in their area. Right? That's what we got. And restaurants can opt in, or restaurants can offer deals to wider customers. Okay, and then step 5, data tracking and analysis to refine. Okay, we could do that, or we can say restaurant. There's another one. They can do a freemium. So customers can pay for a VIP membership for other offers. So now we've got multiple things going on. We've got 2 things going on. We've got customers, we've got the restaurants. But right away, we have here restaurants sign up. So this is step 1. Okay, so I'm pitching the investor. Restaurant signs up, and immediately the restaurant creates a special, sends it to their customer database. So immediately they can start saying, hi, here's your birthday special. But now we got some special sauce here. We're going to go market this app to everybody else, and customers can sign up. Hey, I want to know what restaurants have specials on my birthday. And then the restaurants start offering, and then we're going to make more money because customers are going to say, hey, like a coupon book or something like that. I want to see all the VIP membership offers. Maybe it's like a Groupon for a VIP membership for other offers like Groupon, right? Okay, maybe we say something like that. Bang, here's how it works. So now what is the headline that I put in here to basically state the main thing of what I want everybody to understand as far as the investor, what I want to see? Maybe something such as restaurants start with their own database and expand to market to local customers, local customers signing up for specials, something like that, right? So we just put it in there. And I know there's features in here for like birthday tracking of friends and inviting other people. There's lots of engagement on birthdays, right? But now what I'm going to do is I'm going to make this headline the biggest, and then bang. And so you see how this works. So at the headline, restaurants start with their own database because that's unique and different. And then they're going to sign up and expand. So there's expansion. And here are all the steps and how it happens. Now, I may go to ChatGPT and I say, cut this down a little more. I'm not going to worry about that right now because the headline is good enough. But here is a how it works slide. So take a look at this how it works slide compared to the previous how it works slide, which is right here, how it works. You see the difference, right? Restaurants. Now, there's this traction metric down there, 100,000 birthday diners. I'm not even going to worry about that, right? So back and forth, restaurants start with their own database. Here's how it works. So I'm going to get rid of the old how it works slide, and we're getting that. We're moving along. Now, I want to make sure we look at the proper slide, which is the competition. The next slide. Competition. So right away, I'm going to knock this down to 24. The birthday club gets more butts and seats and keeps tables full at a restaurant partners helping. So restaurants need, I like this in the top here, restaurants need, I like that. We need to cut all this down, and this is going to take a little too long here, and I'm going to say, marketing features to birthday guests, right? This is what the customer, the restaurant wants. All in one platform, mobile app, website directory, social media. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to say the birthday club is an all-in-one platform and service compared to the competition. That's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to say all in one. So you see all this here. These are features that the customers want. So I'm going to say mobile app. And then here we've got local deals directory, mobile app plus web, right? Just make sure. Local deals directory, introduce restaurants, my birthday. And then I'm going to put cost, right? Mobile app, local deals directory, and I got direct mail advertising. So I'm going to expand this, and I'm going to see if I can just split the cells into 2 rows. I'm going to say split cells, number of columns, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If I can cut and paste, insert. All right, everyone, look, check this out. I found what I'm looking for, $297 a month. So I'm going to go back and I'm going to recalculate the TAM here, and let's do this. This is a little bonus action, $297 a month. So if it's $297 a month times 12, that is $3,564. So I'm going to say $297 a month, and I can delete this little note here. Now, this is my actual TAM. So if there are a million restaurants paying $297 million a month, that is going to be a much healthier TAM for sure, equals $3.56 billion, right? So I'm going to say $3.56 billion. Now, our focus is at 25,000 restaurants. They're paying $297 a month. That is $89.1 million. I like that. $89.1 million. And I say our initial focus, $89.1 million, right? And bang, there's your market right there. Now we're going to move on. I feel better. I can sleep at night. We can look at this. So we're going back to this. So I got mobile app and web, and then local deals directory. Then I'm going to put social media broadcasting, and I'm going to put direct mail. Okay, I'm going to say digital media marketing functions, and then I'm going to put direct mail and offline functions. And then I'm going to put expanded local directory. You see, now these are all the things that we could be looking at. And so now what's going to happen is I'm going to put the check in here. So we need to get check marks, right? I'm going to put check mark in all of them. So that's how we build this, right? These are all the things. And I'm going to put $297 a month, $297 a month. Yeah, this works. And then Postcard Mania, direct mail offering, and digital marketing tools. Birthdays are not exclusive. So now we added a new thing here, right? So I'm going to say birthday marketing, birthday focus, local marketing, expanded birthday focus, expanded, right? And so Postcard Mania is a big fat no on this one. So it's just say no. And then it's direct. So yes. And this is yes. And then this is no, right? You see how this works? Right? So now we need to get an X. So I'm going to go X, and we'll get a designer to do better on this. So it's yes, 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 no. And I'm just going to say no, like a big fat X. Price based on mailers. Our Town, direct mail to new movers. So this is a no. I'm going to say builds a database. So direct mail functions online, yes. App targets new movers. So yes, yes for new movers only, right? So put this in there. And then app targets new movers, no. So yes, new movers only, right? I'm just going to be very clear as to how we are differentiated. And we are going to say direct mail, no. Not focused on birthdays, okay? Online ordering and loyalty. So we're going to put direct mail, online ordering and loyalty, digital marketing, yes. And do they have a mobile app? I don't know. I'm going to say no. I don't know. Maybe no, something like that. So you see how now we're putting all this here, starting for $300 a month. So we're cheaper, but we have the advantage of being all in one, close to pop menu, but they don't have direct mail. I'm going to talk to the founder and see if this makes sense, but you see how I adjusted the competition slide. So I'm going to delete the old one. All right, so that was a bit of a lift, but you see how it's much simpler now. Let's take a look. So you see this slide and then the next slide. You see how it's all muddled up? This slide and the next slide, right? Before, after. Before, after. All right, getting a little delirious, having some fun here. Now I'm going to go to the traction slide. Traction. So I'm going to take this. I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to make it small again in the top left. I'm going to say all this. I'm going to get out of here. Well, let's just put this in here. The Birthday Club has provided our advertisers with more than 100,000 celebrating guests. So I'm going to say, can we get an exact number? So I'm going to put this because I like this big headline. I do. So right here. Then I'm going to put, I don't know, how many restaurants. How many restaurants are signed? And then I'm going to say, how much revenue have you made? And then we've got some other things. How big of a waiting list? So you see how that could be really great. Birthday Club. So let's say Birthday Club has provided our advertisers more than 102,000 celebrating guests. And then we say how many restaurants are signed up and how much revenue. So, and we have 50 restaurants. And then we have made $200,000, and how big of a waiting list is pretty much what we could say. And we're growing. And then I'm going to say, are there any other metrics that are growing to week? Now, here's what's cool is we could say, check it out here. See, we have our advisor that's 2,900 restaurant owners and operators, newsletters, okay? We could add in, we need a go-to-market strategy is what we really need. So you know what? I'm going to create a go-to-market strategy. I'm going to show all of you how to do it, all right? So let's look at here. Get exact number. So this traction slide needs to go later on in the deck, and so I am going to move it, but I'm going to then use this as a go-to-market strategy. You know what we missed here? We need a business model slide. By rule of thumb, let me backtrack here because we have to do some housekeeping. After your how it works slide, you should be putting in a business model slide, and then you need a go-to-market strategy. That's what we're missing. I've set up a template. Here's the business model slide, and I'm going to figure out stream 1, stream 2, stream 3. I'm going to show you how I fill this out. I've got my big headline. We charge a monthly SaaS fee to restaurants and a monthly charge of SaaS fee to restaurants. We're just going to keep it very straightforward. Right? And then we're going to, stream 1. So we're going to say monthly fee, and we're going to say $297 a month, right? $297 a month. And then are there other things? So we're going to say VIP, and I'm going to say VIP. So since I'm going to charge customers, we're going to say we charge a monthly SaaS fee to restaurants and a freemium for customers to sign up. Right? So that's my business model. Here's how I'm going to make money. And so I'm going to VIP for customers. I'm going to say, what is it, $20 a month? They said. Now, I'm worried about that. I don't know if you're going to get someone to pay you $20 a month unless you literally can save them $200 a month, right? But let's see what that looks like. Are there any other fees? I don't know. There might be, but I'm just going to put other streams here, but I'm going to say here. So there's your business model slide. Very straightforward. Here's how we're going to make money. Next, go-to-market strategy. So go-to-market strategy, starting with direct sales and then utilizing online communities. So we have, channel one, direct sales, and we say how many, like what I need a description, right, of the direct sales. And then channel two, so then we say online community. Now remember, we had that advisor, and we can say currently have 2,900 restaurant owners on a podcast and email list because of the advisor. Right? And then channel three, etc. So all of these need to make sense in how we're going to go from one to the other. So we start off direct sales. It's a story. We're doing direct sales. What other stuff has worked, right? Community. So channel three, what other stuff has worked? What will you expand into after funding? You see how it's a story now. Instead of a laundry list, we're going to do all these things. Here, we got everything. We're throwing it all up against the wall, seeing what sticks. Instead of a laundry list of social media, Google ads, everything, we're going to go viral. You don't want to do that. You just say direct to sales and then how we're going to evolve from there. And that's a story for the investors. So we've got go-to-market strategy. Then after, we got the competition slide. Then we got the team slide. And I'm going to go in here and say, okay, the team slide, I need a headline. So I'm going to say, how many years in startups? How much money have those companies been worth? Be more detailed and direct. So I'm going to put that right in here. I'm going to put the highlight. And then I'm also going to say, can we company logos for social proof, right? So that's the thing. I'm going to knock this team thing down just a little bit like I've been doing. Okay, so that's how I do that. Traction, birthday club. Can we get an exact number? So traction, how many restaurants are signed up, all that good stuff. And then I'm going to say, what if we had a map with pins on it with the number restaurants that are using it, right? It's just a little visual, social proof, right? And then I'm going to say, okay, so the next slide is the financial slide. Acquisition costs. This looks like a projection to me. I don't know if this is going to be worth it. I'm going to take this financial slide out because let's talk about this just for a moment. Remember, you don't know how your startup is going to go. Anytime that you put a spreadsheet out there, of course, the numbers are going to go up and to the right. Of course, you're going to be profitable. Of course, investors know this. Investors just want to know that you know how to do a financial model so that you understand your customer acquisition costs, etc. But if you can't do that, just don't put yourself in the ring and don't set up where the investor starts to doubt you or thinks that you've got this stupid pie in the sky number. I've seen founders go out and say, oh yeah, we're going to make $10 million year one, and then we're going to make $100 million year two. You're talking about a 10x growth year over year. And investors go, Now, some investors will say, haha, founder, you don't know what you're talking about. We're going to teach you. But other investors say, you know what? If this founder won't take the time to actually understand their unit economics and their metrics, then I'm not interested in talking to that founder. So you don't want to put yourself potentially at risk for an investor to judge you in that way. That's the reason I just say investors accept that your financials are pie in the sky, not going to make sense anyway. In due diligence, the investors are going to push you on your unit economics, your metrics, customer acquisition costs, return on ad spend, all that stuff. And they're going to take their money and they're going to say, if I plug the money in here, how am I going to get 5x, 10x, 50x return? That's literally what they're going to do. That's the reason you have to have your financial model ready. But to at least get their attention, don't shoot yourself in the foot. Doesn't cost you anything not to have the financial slide. If you already have financials, if you've already made money, show that. You can have a graph and say, this is how much money we've made so far. That should be in your traction. If you're making money hand over fist, and met a founder yesterday and he said, actually, I don't need an investor. We are almost on the verge of profitability. I say, talk to the investor and show we don't need an investor. Here's our growth towards profitability. That is going to say so much more. So I'm going to take the financials of this slide out. I'm going to say, let's just get everybody's attention with what we have right now. Here we go. I'm going to go to the funding slide and I'm going to do my little magic. I'm going to knock this down. We build platform V1 of the consumer app. I don't care. Okay. And so I'm just going to say raising 500K. I hope it's 500K. Raising 500K to, I don't want to talk about launch. I just want to say to acquire 500 merchants and get our app downloaded by 1 million consumers. Okay. We don't care about consumers. We care about how many apps, right? So 500 merchants in 1 year to reach. Okay, so this is how you get investors super excited. So if I have 500 restaurants in 12 months and they're paying $297 a month, it equals $1.782 million in revenue to reach 78 million ARR. Now look at that statement. Look at the statement there. Raising 500K. So I'm an investor. I'm like, oh, if you can actually pull this off, if I believe you, and I'm going to give you 500K and you're going to get to 1.78 million ARR because you've reached 500 restaurants. Do I think you can reach 500 restaurants? Absolutely, because of the traction you have so far. And we're going to talk about direct sales team, all that stuff, operating capital, and we're going to put that there. Right? So it's just straightforward. That is a much better statement than all the other fluff that you're going to put in there. It's just straightforward. Now it's up to you to convince the investor that you can do it. And now I'm going to look. Your partnership could be the catalyst and database, affiliate gift commissions, freemium model. All right. Here's another thing that I just saw. If you go to this slide, affiliate gift commissions. So I'm going to just put that into my business model. I found that there, right? Sometimes you have to super sleuth and you have to go this. So I'm going to put affiliate commissions and what I'm going to say 10 to 20%, right? Maybe that's what they do. And I'm going to say any other revenue streams, right? So that's good. So what I've done is I've peppered all this information into different things, right? So, display advertising, right? Membership revenue share. Not going to worry about that. Display advertising. Now here is a marketing tactic. So I'm going to say, here for go-to-market strategy, channel 4. Check this out. If I've got a go-to-market strategy, I'm going to say here, channel 4, affiliate revenue sharing affiliate revenue sharing. That's a marketing strategy, right? So let's figure out. That's good. And what else did I miss here? And another I missed here is display advertising and sponsorship. So I'm going to go back to my revenue streams and I'm going to say display advertising on the app. Right? We're just talking about future revenue. So I'm going to duplicate this and I'm going to put display advertising on apps. And I'm going to put CPM, right? Cost per 1,000. Variable CPM, because everybody understands you pay per 1,000, right? Cost per 1,000 impressions. There you have it. Let's take a look. I think I've gotten everything. Let me show you the last page here. It says your patronage or your investment could be a strategic part, blah, 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 blah. I'm not a big fan of that. That just junks everything up. Maybe you can put a vision statement in there, but for now, I'm just going to say, no, let's get rid of this. One contact. I want to talk to the CEO. So I don't want to talk to the tech guy, right? So I'm going to put that there. And I put the birthday club right here. And then I'm just going to make sure that we got the contact information and we put it all there. That's what's going to happen. And I'm going to delete the other slide. So let's go all the way back and look at our deck. We've got cover slide, option 1, option 2 for the tagline. Great. We got problem. Great. Solution. This is the order, ideally. Market, problem, solution, market size. How it works. Business model, go-to-market strategy, competition. The team, here's our team. And we have team after competition. I like to put it there because, we've got competitors, but we're better than them. And we got the team that's going to be able to pull it off. And look at what we've already done. Here's the traction. That's the story. That's the narrative. It flows. If you got awesome traction, you can move that slide up. But this one is just standard. And then thank you and contact. That's it. Thanks for sticking around with me in terms of watching me go through the deck. I've got other videos. If you've watched all the way up to this point so far, here's some other videos that you need to watch that I put on the screen. Like I said, if you have your own pitch deck and you want me to do a teardown, want me to do a critique, I won't go as deep. This is a paying client, a member of startups.com. You should think about joining startups.com and having me help you like this. I hope this has been helpful. Make sure you go through every step, get you in the mind of someone who's raising capital in this way. I'll see you in the next video. Thanks again for hanging out with me and all your support. Leave a comment. Let me know what you think, and I will see you in the next video.